Are we going? Look at that. That's crisp. That works. And I wonder when I how does the text look here? I mean, it looks pretty sharp. That's impressive. That's good. Means things are working. Finally, I have sorted my capture card business. Look, we render only the things that change. So I can make it red. Okay. I think we're going. Is there a way I can share the link to the stream? Oh, I'm playing double audio. Should not do that. Okay, there we are. Yeah, so the intention is to that's not a good blur. I don't exactly know what's going on there. The Y's feel like they go below the line, but I know it's not far. So it might be the upscaling that's killing me. What does the video here say? Yeah, it seems fine there. So maybe it's probably this screen that's doing the upscaling, interestingly. Yeah, I mean, we're programming. Don't know what else to tell you. Okay, so we could probably do better, but the latency on this is okay. Oh, if I go full screen, do 2.6. I guess that's because there's contention. Some CPU contention. There's some left to right screen tearing. But, yeah, so when this guy stops running, is a very interesting frame rate. Oh no, it doesn't stop. Interesting. Okay. It doesn't crash. Yeah. So next I want to work on the top bar. We don't need to render that every time. What's my opinion on Zig? Well, I think it's very good that they don't buy the whole memory safety thing. Why not Zig? And why my own language? Because their language is not stable. And also, like, it's too much of a liability for me to... My project is about sort of extreme ownership in this way. And so I would be potentially... I'd be taking a lot of risks using other people's stuff. And then also it's sort of the coolness of it. The biggest difference from C is that it has all these years of hindsight. We have slices built in, which save you most of your memory headaches. Are actually the fact that there are no arrays in C, like for real arrays. And then also everything is built fundamentally around arena allocators and not malloc and free. That's another difference from Zig. My understanding is Zig has the sort of normal malloc and free paradigm. So yeah, so when we're at, I didn't actually need to spawn a window. Hold up. So, I kind of have to, don't I? Oh, well, anyway, you see we're at 20 milliseconds there. Most of that is this background. I guess what I actually want is I want this guy. Because then I can spawn this frame, kill it, and then have that full screen. So you see, now we're at 800 microseconds. Now we're at about double. And the difference there is this frame, this bar at the top, which we want to stop rendering every frame. Which shouldn't be that hard. we're gonna stack allocate one of these. And then have a similar one down here. Do I draw him here? When you were showing dirty bits, why they not cleaning up? Is it a reason or I just don't understand something? So only one block will render. Are you talking about when I add this button I press where it goes red? Is that what you're talking about? Or do you mean that there was one in the top left that kept sort of updating? The point is that, like, well, the red stuff I introduced intentionally, it's broken because otherwise you couldn't see. If everything is done correctly, you would never notice the fact that things are only being partially rendered. So you kind of have it be a bit broken for that. The square is moving and the red not becoming re again. Black again. Well, so I think it's because that program. So that program I wrote like while developing the Dirty Bit system, and so I only set it to flag the blocks around that moving rectangle to be dirty. And so yeah, it's actually not 100% correctly marking the dirty bits, and so there are mistakes there. So you have a keen eye to spot those. Yeah, we can make this branchless like this. If I can type correctly. How many lines of code do I have right now? It's been a while since I checked, but the compiler for the language is about 20,000. Some of those are a bit redundant though, so I can foresee the number going down. You know, whatever. That could change a bit. The kernel, I think, is about 9,000 lines. And then well, we'll see in a minute here how. I think this editor I'm using right now, this guy, the old editor, is maybe 1.5, 2,000. The shell that I'm using to compile stuff in is the old shell is probably similar, 1,000 lines ish, 1,200. So it's not a lot. This new window manager is maybe like 1,500 lines. I need to go check on something. I'll be back in a second. I return. Yeah, so we have this color thing we're changing based on if it's 1, 2, or 3. Then I'm not sure what this is for. Hold up. Oh, right. Yeah. I know what that is. Anyway, then we also say here, we say old top bar state. To the previous commenter, there are some things I think are a bit weird about Zig, so there's that reason as well why I wouldn't really use it. If Odin was 1.0'd and self-hosted, I might have used that instead. Look, I've been given half an ice cream by the generous people of the house. Is the compiler and the full toolchain included with the system? Yes. And all source code for those things as well. So it's like you buy the system and then you get access to everything so far that I've written for the system in the language and everything. See, did that? No, it was complaining at me. Why was it complaining at me? 475. Oh, we don't know what that means. Why don't we know what that means? Oh, active workspace index. Will it now agree with me? Are you running this on a VM or a real machine? If it's a VM, would you recommend? What would you recommend to get into kernel OS development? For what you should use to get into kernel development, you'd use QEMU or QEMU, however people write that. There's a way you can set up QEMU where it maps standard in and standard out on the QEMU process to the UART, the main, serial port or UART on the virtualized system. And you want that for easy printf debugging. So running your OS becomes like running what's it called? Just a normal program. I will prove in a moment that this is actually running on an actual device. Read bar while we wait for this to compile. Let's see. Look, there's my face. Look at that. You can see where this is a temporary ordeal. Okay, look at this. Here is the ice cream that people just delivered to me. This is the Serenum that's running. And here is my portable screen and keyboard. You can see it switching modes there into this guy. And then this is a very difficult one-hander, which I can't really do. So I'm going to remove this, put my laptop back. That should be case proven that this is for real. Okay, so I'm running this. Oh, now we're just not drawing the top bar, which is not great.
Right, because I actually need 2 of these. Yeah. My mistake. Oops. Oh yeah, we don't. That's gonna be annoying. So I'm using the noob like rendering library. And well, okay, no. I have a solution. Don't do this at home. We have old and old. And what we're actually comparing to is old. Where am I? Here. So we have old to the old. And then this guy is checking as the old. Did you use something for font rendering, or is it from scratch? So I used STB TrueType on. I made a Linux like toolchain, like a asset pipeline thing that I baked once. So I fiddled with. See, it's not drawing them now, which is not good. Okay. What's up with that? Oh, I see. Yeah. Between these, when there are 2 windows, it's fine. Yeah, no. So I use STB TrueType to get fonts from the internet in TrueType form, render those out into textures, and then I wrote a mixed Brevis and C program to take those and bake those into the format I want. The format is interesting because we basically bake into the executable masks used by the CPU's like SIMD unit to smash out the fonts. So there's actually, I mean, I packaged it in a little library here. But if we go down, I think, do I have a Blit? No, that's Blit dummy. Hold on. Codex full font. So 2 fonts, but here I'm using Pixel. So yeah, we basically
import this file, and then this is the assembly that puts the glyphs down. And you see this is using like vector instructions for much speed, as much speed as possible. What's cool as well is because it's the writes to memory are masked. They're essentially masked because they're bitmap fonts. It means you can easily change the foreground and background color because it's writing the foreground color using the mask, inverting the mask, then writing the background color. The new font rendering that is not released to the people cannot do gradients, but that's because there's not a lot of need for that at the lower resolution. Because right now, so this editor is running 1080p, and when syntax highlighting, good question. When I have time left over for more important things, I guess. There's syntax highlighting is not the top of my list in terms of like what would make this a better experience. Oh yeah, so the thing that's missing is that we're drawing. I think we're drawing the background image. Yeah. I think this is -4. 4. So once this is done, we're gonna actually move on to writing the terminal, because the sort of most gnarly bits are done, I think. So it's more streamable content. There we go. We're down to 18. Might crash that. 900, 1100. It's not free, but it's a lot better. So here's our nice text rendering. Oh yeah, the reason I wanted to do that thing was so that I can remove the FPS counter, or the frame time. I should mute while I'm eating. Okay, now this is clean-ish. Well, yeah, it's clean. We can do shelly things. So one of the first priorities is going to be to wrap some lines. 93. So let's in here. We will add, you know, whatever. This is very long line. And what we want to do is, there's an interesting question of how we're going to memory manage this. Which is, I think we just say, we're going to have a temporary arena. Some magic here. And then we're going to go through and produce these draw lines based on slicing up this text. And then once we have the draw lines, we chop off the top because we actually want a, because this is a terminal, we want well, actually, you know, we'll do scroll back actually this time, so that'll be a thing. I think you can even... I think if I ask for 0, that should be valid. It's just, it should align, which is what I'm concerned about. Well, actually, we don't care that much. Hold up. You know, the loop here is that we say, you know, new line is equal to this, but with 1, and then we assert sorry, this is a pointer. Here we're just asserting that where we're gonna put this new guy is at the end of the previous array, and then we can bump this. So yeah, we're gonna advance as long as we can advance, and as long as the line is less than grid width, and as long as the next character is not a new line. Or actually, until we haven't, unless we have absorbed a new line. So we have line dot m minus 1. And as long as these things are true, we're gonna bump the length. Now, at the end of this, we then have, we wrap. No, sorry, we advance the log by the line length. And then if this is true, we trim the line. And then we put the new line. How it draws on screen in some buffer that putting it to draw call. No, so there's no OpenGL or anything like that. Instead, there's I painstakingly over a period of like 1 month reverse engineered, learned how the Linux kernel to power this. There's a graphics chip thing on this SoC that I'm targeting. And then the way that works is it can be configured in certain ways, but mostly it just streams out bitmaps from memory. So the kernel sets that up, and then there's a primitive which a process will map into its memory space, like a buffer, or a thing where it has two buffers and you can draw into them. And that's how that works, essentially. So, but it's essentially you just put the pixels in memory and then it gets streamed out the door to the screen. What am I working with? That is a very broad question. I'm working on my OS, which you can buy at Tabana.shop, including the device it runs on. But you know, with a question as broad as that, you were sort of asking for it to receive the ad pitch. Anyway, so we have our lines, and I think we just draw these. Let's try that. Let's try it. Let's try it. $89. Oop. That's a crash. You know, many things were written on this OS, like in the kernel and stuff, where I was lazy because I wasn't using the OS for persistent long durations, which I now do. And so there are many leaks internally, which are, you know, easy to fix. You just have to like actually go fix them all, which I haven't done yet, because well, I fixed some of them to make it, because it was a real problem before. But the point is that I need to fix them because I use the system more now, and so it's becoming more of a problem. But that's how I develop things, is I develop it enough, and then I develop it more when it is the primary bottleneck. I have no lines. Is this drawing? Oh, okay, so that means it crashed somehow. And I don't know why. Great. I imagine it's this guy who's failing. Let me try this. Am I happy? I'm not happy. This is going to be so nice to debug afterwards when I have a shell, so I'll be able to read what the crash is. We allocate again. I mean, what I could do is I could just say that's going to be equal to that. We'll pretend that this succeeds because it shouldn't really matter. Except we will do this. One. Is there no error stack? There is an error stack. It's just by running this program in the window manager, I have sort of obfuscated. I've blocked myself. And we're currently developing the thing that's going to unblock that for us. Could be actually that there are too much text. For example, if we just do rough times. Thoughts on async? Depends what you mean by async. If you mean the thing that is trendy and called async, then I think it's a complete waste of time and it makes your life a huge pain, as I have experienced many times whenever I've tried to use it in various forms, whether that be in Rust or like in C# or something. Maybe the trendy stuff in Go is fine. I don't know. Interesting. Okay, so now we're running. We're going. We're cooking.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna see, can I do this thing I wanted to do originally? But yeah, the main problem with async is that you... Like, it's just... I think async comes from a place of saying I want to do a bunch of things at once. And if with the stuff you're doing is like waiting on IO or like a bunch of bullshit most of the time, then maybe... Like if you're just waiting on web requests, okay, nice, that worked. Then maybe it makes more sense. But for most of the stuff I do, like the reason I wanted to make it async, it's not because I want them to run at the same time for an arbitrary reason. It's because I want to actually be multi-threaded and like use more of the machine. And async helps you almost nothing at all with that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, since we now know the problem, say draw lines, do the log lines, and then oh well, really we'll just say I want to truncate the log lines. What would it be? Would it be, yeah, it'd be this minus this. Primogen says half of Go channels suck. There's an annoying YouTube heart in the way, so I can't actually read your comment. Wait, I'm just gonna type something. There. But how to hop into another process in your OS is it just not implemented? I have something. Ooh, interesting. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this would explain why the why it went off the screen. Frame.width divided by 6. Yeah, so there's this thing called that I made up called interprocess procedure calls, which are kind of like they're like remote procedure calls or even like syscalls, but they're a native concept. So what they allow you to do is your parent process can advertise like, hey, I support this talking this protocol or whatever, and then your child process can say, hey, I would like to connect, but that's very connect in air quotes,
to someone with... Dude, what is up with this? This is weird. I want to connect to somebody who speaks this protocol. And so you walk up your parent, sort of the process graph, until you hit somebody who supports talking that thing, and then you establish a connection. Now this is actually not a network connection, it's just like an OS thing. Now you can perform syscalls on this API where like registers are conserved. Most registers are conserved across this boundary. So the child process can call into a thread. So there's a sleeping thread in the parent process that gets woken up and assign the register state that came from the child process, and they can do stuff and then return. And then we use that as our mechanism to do to handle infrequent operations. And then we use it to set up shared memory to do the high-speed communication. Oh, this is... Oh, I'm stupid. Whatever, you make mistakes. You make mistakes. So yeah, anyway, they're pretty good. They're not as fast as I had hoped they would be. At the same time, that's probably because I haven't paid a lot of attention yet to optimizing them. Yeah, so we are line wrapping. Now we just need to take care of this, the edges, I feel like. So okay, this is the actual test is we do this. Look at that, it line wraps. This one is screwed up for some reason. Why is it that? Why is it bad? I can't tell if this is wrong or not. Oh, so we're leaving a bunch of crap in the buffer. I wonder if I do this, open a new window. I want to get it like mid update. See, well, clearly this is wrong. And now these are failing. Oh, but it's only going on half of the buffers, so
Hmm. I think this is, I'm screwing up my dirty bits. Okay, man, at least the resize is working in theory. But probably there's something to do there. To have these dirty bits. Wait, can't I access the... No, I can't do that. Yeah, so in this situation, we're just gonna combine. We're gonna say, hey, if something changed in the last frame, then like also count it as changed this frame. I'm going to say dirty bits. Well, temp. In between here,
see if that fixes our problem. Oh, there's a different problem as well, which is when we resize, we have to nuke. We have to nuke the cache. Yes, I don't think that's actually the issue. Forget about this. I changed my mind. The actual problem is that, oh, whoops. If there's a resize, we have to nuke the caches. Am I using Vim notions? Well, Vim motions. Not sure what those mean, or do you mean like I press which buttons I press? I'm pressing the arrow keys, but that's because this is supposed to be a very noob-friendly experience. So we've done. I'm not a Vim cell myself. Maybe in a different universe I would be one. But as it stands, no. And I don't know what Helix is, so you'd have to explain what Helix is. Because if I Google Helix, there's no way I'm actually finding anything. Helix editor is a Vim-like editor written in Rust, but uses different key motions like select first and then do something. It's dope. I mean, if you say so, I guess it's dope. Guess I'm missing out. That's an out of memory crash again. I mean, when I'm on Linux, I use Focus Editor right now. Which is, cool. It's the Jai editor. Thomas. Spawn a guy. Spawn another guy. Ooh, we are slow. And we still have bugs. Although they seem to be fewer than before. Drip, drip. Is that because our layouting is lame now? So once we're going, we're pretty fast. What's that? Ugh. Okay, what is that? That's a bug. That is a bug. Why is... Oh, is there like an invalid character there? Looks like it. Need to figure out why this is so slow. That's crazy. I'm gonna type a chat message to make so that I can read your thing. Does anybody except you code something to OS? No. I mean, it's mostly me, but I think other people program some small things. Certainly, it would be good if more people did that. But I think that's a me problem. So okay, yeah, you see that we have these flashies. Not sure what they are. They might be new lines sneaking in. To be fair, I am doing reflow on this every frame, so that's gonna be slow. How slow though? Debatable. Kind of amazing how fast this guy is in exclusive full screen in comparison to what we just experienced.
We're gonna have this thing called should draw. Yeah, there's some Latin and weird stuff. Although the interesting thing is, I actually don't. From speaking to people, I don't think that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is sort of that there's it's less obvious what you would build, and also the tooling just isn't that great. I mean, it's better now. It was a lot worse before. There we go. Am I in? Whoa, it's heavy. Also, stuff is happening. So what is this? Okay, I moved down. What are these bugs? The original guy has not rendered. Oh, right. Should draw. Oops. Should go out here. And then we do so what's happening is that it was like a timing thing. We're setting should draw to yes because a resize happened. But then we're not actually doing anything because when we tried to render, I don't know, it wasn't available exactly then. And then we reset the variable. So now I get this thing. Okay, everything responds. This bug is gnarly though. What is this? Okay, it's still eating some of my inputs, which isn't good. What's up with that? What's up with original guy? And also, why is this so slow? Also, why isn't it doing anything? It's not. I guess it didn't fix the issue. Oh yeah, was resize also needs to be.
Why does it require 2? And also, why is that guy jumping around? This is so weird. But okay. This guy. This guy. Will the other guy resize? Only when I probe him. This might be slow actually because I'm like hammering the allocator a bunch. Let's do this instead. So now we have log lines pi. We also have this. Curious. This is not working correctly. Why is it oh, right, because, yeah. Hold up. In my foolishness, I have made a mistake. Oh, and now PI has to be available. Soon I'm gonna have to go to sleep. Oh, we lost it. How much are you planning to stream? Well, the plan is to make a YouTube video every other day, and then probably stream as much as possible. But probably most likely the day I'm not making a video. But we'll see how that goes. You take a vacation? I don't know. In my mind, I'm always on vacation, and I'm always working. You know, except I'm not allowed to work on Sundays. Sundays I have to do something different. Okay, here's our thing back. We still have that bug. I'm still not getting a new frame. Unless 2 events happen. And there's this jumpy behavior, which I don't get. Why? Why is this guy not getting re-rendered? If I move him... nothing changes. Am I writing out... I must not be writing out the new frame size. See if it goes here. Oh, curious. That is very curious. Wait, what? I can move it here, I can move it back. It doesn't update unless I press a button, and then now it updates. So what is up with that? Am I being an idiot again? Very seems likely. This is different or this is different. Set the things and set should draw to 1. See no issue with this. Could it be, hold on. I think I know what the issue is. Bro fell in? What are you talking about? Where do I set the height? Should be a frame.height or df.height somewhere here. Come on, I said this somewhere. Full screen. Here we go. Oh yeah, so I said it when we redraw, which isn't good. What is new DB used? Don't know. Okay, whatever. We set this here. DF. And I guess we should only do it to visible windows. Probably, yeah. So yeah, here. We want to pull these out. I'm going to pretend this isn't used. Whoops. Run me. You know, this question of vacation, I wonder, can you take a vacation and succeed in the OS industry? You know, if you can't do both, then I guess it's a tough situation for me. Okay, we're drawing. We still have this bug. That's so weird. We still have this like. That's so weird. But I spawn a guy, I spawn another guy. See, they're both updating now. So we got bugs. We've got bugs. This is so weird. Why does it? There is data here. I don't know what the issue is. Could it be? That's not what I meant. That ought order fix it. Yeah. I bet that's probably on the high score list of, you know, how many times have I said something in my lifetime? Oh, rip. What is this? Arrgh. I'm having to tap twice. I mean, at least it's a repeatable bug. Oh, I'm a doofus. I'm a real idiot. Okay, so I did a cool thing. Everything that's in normal quotes here, this is Unicode text. If it's like this, it's clear text. Because, of course, you know, you invent your own text encoding scheme when you can. And my text encoding scheme is so cool and down to earth that the character 0 has the numeric value 0. So it's actually awesome, because if you accidentally print some null bytes, on Linux, it looks like nothing happened. Here, you get a bunch of zeros, and you go, oh, that's what happened. I did something wrong. I printed null. But here I'm setting, as my we need to reset the buffer, I'm setting it to 0, which is completely wrong. So here it shouldn't be 0. It should be like FFF or something. That actually won't occur. The moon landing of computer UX. Yeah, that's my solution for Unicode support. I mean, we have Unicode around, so yeah, we support it in the language to the extent that, you know, it exists. But you know, if
if you need to develop a Unicode application, I will not stop you. See, look at that, now it's working. 1, 2, they redraw the things. Look at that, so cool. You don't have any scroll, but I can move this around really fast. This is, I mean, it's a dramatic difference in speed, I feel like. Between the window manager is so fast, whilst this guy is so slow. But I bet it's actually because the relayouting is like very expensive. So we probably, you know, for an actual terminal, you want to cache that, and then what we're going to be doing is typing at the bottom, having stuff come up. I wish there was a way for me to disable this hot in the YouTube UI. That's, well, no, okay, I can read your comment. Everything else is worse. How are you drawing with pure software rendering? I mean, how? Oh, am I drawing with pure software rendering? Yes, I am drawing with pure software rendering. It's like SIMD optimized, but it's also running on a potato, which is why it's as slow as it is. But you know, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we cook. Anyway, so I need to figure out this like I press the up key and then nothing happens. It like swallows a frame. I need to figure out what's up with that. It's working now. If I switch direction, it doesn't work. I'm going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Nothing's happening, which is curious. Very curious, in fact. That's interesting. I guess it is drawing. But is it pushing a frame? No, it's not pushing a frame. And it could be pushing a line, but the dirty bits aren't set. But the dirty bits should be set. I don't know what's up with that. If I support serial cable over QEMU, I could... No, there's no network yet, although that's my next to-do list item. But the OS doesn't run in QEMU, so you couldn't microservice it. And probably that's a good thing, because that would be disgusting. Okay, I fixed it. No, I didn't fix it. Why? Why? But yeah, the after all this window manager stuff, I have to go into the cave and toil away, then come out of the cave with Wi-Fi enabled. Oh, I know what the issue is. Oh. That kind of sucks. Oh, and we're out of memory. What's my plan for doing it? Well, I was gonna start with the Wi-Fi. Then I was gonna do the IP. And then the DHCP. That was my plan. And I happen to know... Well, also my plan is I need to get... I need to build a version of Linux for this device. Then enable the Wi-Fi, probe it, like shove printf statements into the Linux, and see, because I don't even know, like they make it so hard to understand even what code is it that this thing is running, or like what code path is active. So, you know, it's gonna make me very unhappy, but that's the price you pay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna have advanced same. Ooh, interesting. So we're gonna include cache, and then other cache. And then if this
So we won't blit redundantly, but we are going to do this. So you'd want we advance by other, and then this would be the situation. So we're essentially detecting like, hey, if there's a difference on the other guy, or if we have some kind of difference with the other guy, we mark that. Yeah. Do I have other char cache? Yeah, I do. I do. You know, the secret as well is you ask, how am I going to implement a full Wi-Fi, DHCP, and IP stack? The secret number one is don't treat it like a stack. Treat it like, how do I minimally do the set of things that will allow me to achieve the end goal that I want, which is different from saying I'm going to build this stack, because then you take on the poor design and thinking that goes into most systems, and that will slow you down. But the real secret is that I already did the impossible. Like, a year ago, this OS was like, oh, there's just a serial port, and I have absolutely no idea how I get USB keyboard working, or I have absolutely no idea how to get graphics coming out of the HDMI cable on the device. And then I did that. And so, you know, you just refuse to stop working on it. And then you win. Whoops. Like, just a crash? What is that? I walk down one, and I get to that. And that's toast. Oh, because there's a missing. It wasn't a crash, it was an infinite loop. I go down. Oh, interesting. Curious. Other is less than my. Oh, yeah. So. We're good. We're in business. We're in business, people. We're cooking. Look, I can be on this line and then it changes. That's so amazing. I can like move these windows around. Full screen one, I can like go to these other guys. I can scroll here. You see the text there at the bottom is flipping because there's junk in the frame buffer. This is it's all right. It's a little bit it's a bit slow, but you know we can make it better. Is the so the like becoming small is pretty cheap. It's the becoming big that like takes a second. So I feel like, you know, it's a little bit laggy, but you know, maybe that's the price you pay for having Windows. Okay, stream is over. That was it. We're done. See you another day.